Sasuke Uchiha is one of the best written characters in all of anime. And if you disagree, well, prepare to have your mind changed. A lot of people hate Sasuke. The guy is dismissed as a teen edgelord whose motivations change on a whim, or as a straight up asshole who only cares about himself. And while I see where people who think that are coming from, I think y'all are wrong. Sasuke is written well. He's written fantastically well. And no, Sasuke is not my favorite character or even one of my top 5. In fact, I'm pretty indifferent to Sasuke on a personal level, but I can still admire the care with which Kishimoto handled his arc. And so when I see people saying things like, why didn't Sasuke just adopt the Will of Fire after learning the truth about Itachi, it does grind my gears a little bit. So yeah, subscribe if you like the content, and with that, let's get into it. So I think the first thing that's important about Sasuke's character is that he's introduced as a foil to Naruto. Color scheme, temperament, skill, luck with girls. These are all aspects in which he's the complete opposite of our protagonist. And they're also opposites in a way that gets overlooked. Naruto is extroverted and tells people exactly what he's thinking because he craves attention after being ignored all his life. Meanwhile, Sasuke is quiet and introverted due to his trauma. So when he makes decisions, he doesn't really feel the need to tell everyone. I think this is the biggest reason Sasuke's motivations are so misunderstood. He's reserved, especially compared to Naruto. At the same time, I think there are enough clues in the show that it should be pretty apparent what the guy's thinking, so I think it's pretty important to have empathy for his introversion and actually try to understand him. So let's do that. The most common criticisms of Sasuke revolve around his decision making. Like, why does he leave Konoha to join up with a literal terrorist? Why does he decide to destroy the leaf? And why does he say that he'll become Hokage? And why does he have a death match with Naruto in the final bit of the series? And surprisingly, the answer to all of these is the same. Sasuke is an avenger and wants to right the wrongs done to his clan and then make sure nothing like that can ever happen again. That's the reason he makes every single decision he does. He grew up in the shadow of Itachi, and once Itachi killed the clan, he adopted that mentality. Does this make him a jerk? Well, he's definitely blunt about things and is generally pretty insensitive. He calls Sakura annoying straight up and is kind of mean to Naruto. Like, who raised this guy? Oh wait, nobody did. Because his parents were murdered. And although Sasuke doesn't really know how to socialize or be nice to people, he's not selfish or mean-spirited. He basically sacrifices himself to save Naruto from Haku's attack, he vows to protect Sakura during Konoha Crush, and so on and so forth. Even after he joins Orochimaru, his mentor expresses disappointment at Sasuke being reluctant to kill. And when he recruits the members of Team Taka, he doesn't force anyone to go with him, they all just volunteer. Sasuke is introduced to the series as this broody avenger type, because that's exactly what he is. He's been through a lot, and finding out who or what is responsible for his suffering and making them pay is exactly what his goal is throughout the entire series. He views Team 7 and Naruto as a hindrance in the beginning because they're just so far from Itachi at this point in time that he thinks it's a waste of time. And can you blame him? Sasuke is a super prodigy compared to the rest of the class, but it's pretty well established that compared to Itachi, he's pretty mediocre, and that's why he leaves the leaf, because he thinks he's not getting stronger fast enough. And that brings us to the first big controversial decision Sasuke makes, leaving Konoha. I think out of all his actions, Sasuke's decision to leave is understood the best. He's frustrated by the pace of his progress, or lack thereof, and he seeks out the only Kage level fighter he knows of, Orochimaru, to get stronger. Some people say things like, how could he leave Team 7? Didn't he care about them? And the answer is, he did care about them. And that's why Sasuke's story is such a tragedy. Being with Team 7 was the happiest he'd ever been since the massacre. He'd found his first friends, but he was so dead set on killing his brother that he had to leave them, and that's so sad. He prioritizes his mission over his own happiness, like a true shinobi would. Itachi tells him that he doesn't have enough hatred, and from Sasuke's point of view, he's totally right. The strongest people Sasuke had encountered thus far were Orochimaru, Itachi, and Gaara in tailed beast form, all psychotic monsters who were hateful to the extreme. And so it was a perfectly logical conclusion for him that the way he needed to get strong was to give in to the hate, and that's why he can't stay. He's too happy in Konoha. Hatred cannot flourish around that much love and friendship. It's important to note, however, that while he's training to kill Itachi, he doesn't kill anyone innocent. He does kill Orochimaru, but that's because he thinks Orochimaru is evil, which is pretty valid. He fights Deidara, but Deidara kills himself. And throughout the fight, Sasuke is mostly just trying to get information about Itachi. And he does eventually find Itachi, and the aftermath of this fight is where he makes another controversial decision. The plot twist regarding Itachi's motivations was so brilliant, not just for Itachi's character, which I covered in my video on Itachi, which you should check out, but even more so for Sasuke. Everything we thought we knew about Itachi and the Uchiha is flipped on its head, and Sasuke is freaking shook. It's pretty apparent from the way he's lashing out, the way he's shivering, that he's having an on-screen mental breakdown on what happened, as the person he just killed was not a psychopathic mass murderer, but instead a fundamentally good kid who was trying his best to do what was right. He unlocks the Mangekyo from the pain of killing his brother by his own hand, and he resolves to destroy the Hidden Leaf. A lot of people are understandably confused on why Sasuke would do this. On the surface, it's the complete opposite of what Itachi stood for, promoting war instead of peace, and for a while I thought this too. But you gotta realize that part of Itachi's failure, as he acknowledges later in the war, is not being there for Sasuke. He didn't spend much time with his little brother and led him down the path of hatred. And so Sasuke never developed the will of fire that Itachi had. He never had any obligation to the leaf, and it's made very clear from the moment he's presented that his goal is to kill the one responsible for the destruction of his clan, which he at the time thinks is Itachi. But once he realized that Itachi was forced into killing his clan due to the village, it makes sense that he'd shift the blame to the village instead. At the very least, I think people can probably understand him killing Danzo. Itachi chose the world over his family. Sasuke is like Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan in that he had the reverse values, his family over the world. Itachi was exposed to the suffering of war. Sasuke was not. He had no reason to be so scared of it. He embraced war as payback for the suffering the leaf inflicted on his people. While it's true that Sasuke sought to kill innocents in the leaf, from his point of view, the leaf did the exact same thing when they ordered the execution of innocents in the Uchiha. Remember that there were women and children who were slaughtered by Itachi for no real fault of their own, and Sasuke was out for revenge. And the other thing to note is that Sasuke is still a teenager. He's confused. He's been through an incredible amount of trauma and was searching for a solution, or at least some way to make the world a better place. People say he's moody and whimsical, but instead of criticizing this aspect of his character, I think it's totally understandable. After all, hurt people hurt people. Sasuke killing people during the 5 Kage summit is wrong, except for Danzo, who totally deserved it. But the show doesn't treat his actions as right or just. Karin, Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi all deride him for behaving this way. But that doesn't mean it's bad writing. I think it's incredibly realistic for him to change his morality, especially because both the Leaf and Itachi, who he now views as a hero, had killed innocents in the past. There are a lot of people who say that Naruto would have been justified in joining the Akatsuki and destroying Konoha, and if you think that, then you should absolutely understand Sasuke wanting to do the same. Sure, Konoha treated Naruto badly, but they were responsible for the deaths of Sasuke's entire clan. And so, Sasuke understandably worked for the Akatsuki, attacks the 5 Kage summit, kills Danzo. He gets Itachi's eyes from Obito and fully intends to kill Naruto and destroy the leaf until he sees Itachi run past him. Obviously, he follows Itachi, they beat Kabuto together, and upon a little bit of reflection, Sasuke realizes he doesn't actually understand the world or Itachi all that well. I think this is a part of Sasuke's character that some people miss. He's not some hyper immature kid blindly thrashing around. Sasuke is thoughtful, intelligent, and willing to admit when he doesn't have all the answers. He humbly goes to Orochimaru for instruction and asks the Hokage for their answers. He listens to Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Minato, and he decides to save the leaf, rejoining up with Team 7 as they fight Madara and Kaguya, and then stops them from destroying the world. And then he does something a lot of people are confused by. He seals the tailed beasts and tells Naruto that he's going to kill them, and then also execute the 5 Kage and start a new shinobi world order. He wants to be like Madara or Lelouch from Code Geass, uniting the world against him and thereby ensuring a complete lack of conflict. He thinks that this is the logical conclusion to Itachi ensuring peace in the leaf, and he challenges Naruto because Naruto is the only one strong enough to stop him. Sasuke learned from Madara and Itachi, and his ultimate solution is one that's informed by all his experience, the same way Naruto's philosophy is informed by his. Every time Sasuke has fought someone, he's realized that there's a bigger fish, another level to the suffering. Itachi killed his clan, but only under orders of the Leaf. The Leaf only did that because of the coup, which was caused by the distrust fomented by the Nine-Tails attack, which was caused by Obito, and if you keep tracing that backwards, it ultimately results in the final enemy being the shinobi system. So Sasuke decides to become this Madara or Lelouch-like figure, destroy that system, and ensure peace, because he's an avenger. And because in his own way, he's just looking for the best path forward. He's the perfect final villain, the ultimate test for Naruto. Not only is he the strongest foe that Naruto's ever faced, but also the most personal. In one fell swoop, Naruto can both save his friend and ensure peace, and that's exactly what he does. If you hate Sasuke, I hope this video has at least made you appreciate his character a little more. I really think that the way he learns from and reacts to the world around him is incredibly well written, even though he doesn't yell what he's thinking the way Naruto does. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing too. Only 3.5% of my viewers are subscribed, and it really does help out the channel a lot. So yeah, until next time.